ask at the auctions last night. I actually forget whose channel. It was either on Yarn Again, Teresa's channel, or Dawn Southern Finds channel. And Toochman was on there selling glass. And I actually bought this from Toochman. This is a wonderful piece of glass, and it's covered by clear glass. It has the additional clear glass outside of the colored glass, and he had several other of these pieces. When I look at glass now, because I've had a glass blowing experience, the thing I want to do right now is I want to make glass. I really do. But when you have a furnace with glass in it, I did not realize, but the glass, the clear glass, is already in the furnace. So when I made my paperweight, which is not sitting here right now, that's unfortunate. I know my other paperweight's way back in there. That anyway, you get a little gob of glass on the end of the pole, and you turn it. And then with paperweight, the glass artist laid the colors out on a metal table, and I rolled the clear glass in the color flakes. And then it was heated up again, and then it was rolled and cooled. And then after that, after the color had been added, it was placed back into the furnace with more clear glass, or goopy, well, no one would be goopy glass, but hot glass that was fire red. So I believe what they do with these pieces is they make the internal piece, they blow it, and they put it back into the furnace with more clear glass and cover it. And I don't know exactly how that would be done, but I got all excited when Toochman said, how in the world did they do this? This is beautiful. But I would say that they make the internal vase or whatever it is first, and then they put it back in the furnace with the clear glass after this is substantial enough that it's not going to melt again, and that would be my now educated guess, since I've had a little bit of experience glass blowing, as to what they do to cover this beautiful inside piece with this clear glass. Now this one, a lot of them with the vases, they'll have the clear glass base. This has a little bit of a clear glass base, but I did some glass blowing at Tamarack. I made a paperweight. I got to experience what it was to bring the glass out of the furnace on a pole and turn it and put the colors in it. And it was just a really wonderful experience. I have loved glass for a long time. Good morning. Is it Riza? Good to see you. I'm Maureen Lane from the Buying Space channel. On my channel, I do unboxings. I buy all kinds of wonderful stuff, YouTube auctions, and I unbox them. And I do Bible readings, and I do slice of life stuff. This month, I've got a lot of shorts and information about blowing and other products that you can get at Tamarack, which is a huge artisans shop in the state of West Virginia. And all the stuff there is made by West Virginians. So this dog and this vase, to my knowledge, were not made at Tamarack or in West Virginia. I was just showing this as an example. So good morning, everyone. Please say hello. And thank you for the thumbs up, whoever's doing that. I appreciate you. Now, when I got home, there was something I regretted that I didn't buy, so I ordered it. So let me go and show you this. And this is somewhat of an unboxing. This came in another envelope, and I opened that envelope, and this box was inside. And yes, I've opened up the box, so it's not a true unboxing. I do raw unboxings on my videos. And this is coffee. And this was very good timing, too, because I've only got one more pouch of Door County coffee. And this coffee is the Silver Bridge Coffee Company. And this is ground coffee. It's a legendary dark roast. And the Silver Bridge is in a bridge between West Virginia and Ohio. And it collapsed one year. And the year that it collapsed, there were a lot of sightings of this creature called the Mothman. And actually, this next month, I think the 26th to the 28th, West Virginia likes its creatures. I'll tell you that. They're having a Bigfoot festival in West Virginia at the end of June. So I would love to go to that. They've been sending me invitations for over a year now. Last year's festival I missed. Ingredients 100% fair trade organic coffee. And their address is Bidwell, Ohio, and that's on the other side of the bridge if you're a West Virginian. And they have their telephone number on here. That's wonderful. So Silver Bridge Coffee Company, and this is the Mothman blend. And this is ground coffee. And I love how they put this clip on here. Let's see who else we have in here this morning. Good morning, Johnny. How you doing? Yeah, I'm talking about my coffee. I got Silver Bridge coffee, the Mothman blend. Isn't that great? I don't know if you're familiar with the Mothman, but he was a creature that inhabited, maybe still does inhabit, Ohio and West Virginia, that border along the Ohio River. And I used to, when I moved to St. Augustine, when I moved to Florida, I went to St. Augustine because St. Augustine is this wonderful historic place. And I walked into a bookstore and in St. Augustine and found a book about the Mothman. And I read that book and loved it. And I passed it along to my sister-in-law's nephews at some point. God knows where that is now. Hopefully that book has survived. But it's just fascinating about the Mothman sightings and all of that. But they also had Sid Hatfield coffee. And Sid Hatfield was a sheriff in Mingo County when the Hatfield-McCoy feud was happening and also the coal mining wars. So I really enjoyed my recent trip back home. I've always loved history. When I was in the 8th grade, I was in a private school, so I didn't get to participate in the West Virginia Horseshoe competition what they have every year for 8th graders. But both the people in my age group that went to that state competition told me that I could have, done better than them or maybe won. Of course, they were friends of mine and they were really nice to me. But I really did know my West Virginia history. I don't know it as much now as I used to. I used to belong to, well, I still do technically belong to the Boone County Genealogical Society that I joined at the age of 10, but I didn't join every year. So I didn't keep the membership consistent. But I made a big donation to them when I moved 3 years ago, and they still send me the newsletter. I'm still technically a member, even though right now they have me as automatic member because, or maybe even a lifetime member because I made that big donation. One of the books that I sent, I had to donate my genealogical library when I moved. There was just not enough room here for me to have my family history books. So instead of giving it to Goodwill in Jacksonville, I mailed it all to Boone County, so where people would love and appreciate the books. And it was quite the collection. Ended up being 9 small moving boxes of books, and worth thousands of dollars. And I'd do it again because I wouldn't want it to go to a Goodwill here in Jacksonville where nobody appreciated it, and could have ended up in a landfill. So, but anyway, I enjoyed my trip up home, even though my trip home was for a very sad reason. I just felt at home, and the rest of the time that I wasn't grieving for my mother. She died Good Friday, so I'm able to have good days now. There was enough time in between, and she had a lovely service in Madison. But I was able to stop and do a few things. There were some people I wanted to see, but they were like, well, you're coming to West Virginia for a very sad reason. That doesn't mean I couldn't have had dinner with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or met up with somebody. But that's how that went. So, you find out who your friends are and who your friends aren't when you go through something like that. And, but anyway, I ordered this coffee after I got home. I do have a short coming up within the month of June that's going to show this coffee at Tamarack. And I didn't buy it when I was there. I believe I saved like $3 and got free shipping because I ordered this through Amazon. But, I didn't want to overburden my family with additional purchases while, because things had to be carried and that sort of thing. So I ordered it when I got home. And I also went to order the Sid Hatfield coffee. Sid Hatfield being a tough as nails sheriff in Mingo County with all this stuff going on, probably liked this. His coffee is probably a darker roast than this one. I don't know for sure yet, but I'm going to, taste test both of them and see which is better, which one I like the most. So that's going to happen. But I don't know how much of it I'll get on camera. But I do want to taste test this on camera. But I need to be consistent about the additives I have. Like right now, this morning, it was announced that a family member was out of certain kind of medicine that they have to take. And then they told me we're out of milk. And I didn't know either of those. So it's surprise, surprise. Good morning, Myra. We're out of this. We're out of that. You know how things get. I don't know if I should develop a pull system like Walmart. Like as soon as I buy something, keep track of when I need it again, like a big, I don't know, consumer lot. But, if I like this or I like the Sid Hatfield coffee, I may put it on what they call at Amazon, where you get automatic fulfillment, where you get the same item maybe once a month, or you determine how often you use it. Like we get sparkling water sometimes. And usually I end up only ordering that once every 2 to 3 months. And the thing is, they're consumed quickly. Instead of like a person having one a day, they have 5 a day, and that's not healthy. So I'm trying to teach that, we're not going to have this. I'm not going to order this every time we run out of it, that you need to, make it, make it last and only have one a day. But I don't know if that's going to be learned or not. Yeah, our meds are on auto refill, but when the meds run out, in actuality, and when they're ordered, for some reason, are 2 different things. We keep our medicine because we have such serious health conditions around here. We keep our medicine 3 months ahead, or try to keep our medicine 3 months ahead. Sometimes we fall behind on our timetable because, I don't actually have it on automatic refill. I call the pharmacy 2 or 3 times a week. But now that Mom has passed away, Mom was on like, she would get 12 to 14 medications a month. And sometimes, extra medications. So it was not, you wanted to order everything at once. And then Marty has a bunch of medications and I have medications. So, I was a very good pharmaceutical customer, but I would try to order like a category of medicine at a certain time. But then I would call the pharmacy and they would be like, well, we're out of that. We're going to have to order that. And I'm like, well, didn't you know my prescription was coming up? And they'd be like, well, we did, but we don't pre-order like that. So, then your medication, you got, say you order on the 15th. Then you've got another group of medications that you can't order till the 20th because one of them you had to wait for. And it just gets all staggered. And I've been thinking about, just not ordering medication for like a whole month, which I think I could get by with at this point, and then starting it all again on the same day or trying to. But I know if I try to do that there will be medications they don't have on the day that I requested. So it's, it's complicated. We got, a variety of classifications of medications and what you would call medical supplies. And it gets very complicated. So sometimes even when I call and it gets complicated. But I'm not, and I focus on that more than I do food and coffee sometimes. But because I almost ran out of coffee. I have like one Door County coffee pouch left, and I'm halfway through that. And I'm just like, oh no. But anyway, I brought out, I don't know when you came in, Johnny, but I brought out this beautiful piece of glass and explained how I think this glass is blown. But I bought this from Toochman, and he had several other pieces of glass like this that were covered. They had the inner piece that was covered by the clear glass. And these are just beautiful. But I'm going to be selling on Johnny Cajun Roots Reseller on the first Tuesday of June, which is June 3rd. My time slot is 1:15. And then on Friday, I'm going to be on the Classy Crap auction with Dana, who is Grandma's Closet, and for the Pride edition. So Friday, next Friday, I'll be talking about Marty's non-binaryism and what non-binaryism is in general. And some of the, verbal calisthenics of it all. And maybe some stories about how I've been an ally since early on in a place where it was difficult to be an ally. Definitely difficult to be LGBTQ where I grew up. So hopefully I'll have time to get into some of that and there won't be too much confusion, because non-binaryism is something relatively new and it gets confused sometimes with Marty's medical diagnoses. I had a person at church, it took me forever to get them to understand what was going on with Marty, because Marty has an autism spectrum disorder that's formerly known as Asperger's syndrome. And when I was saying Marty was non-binary, this person was thinking that I was saying Marty was bipolar. And bipolarism and non-binaryism are two different things, and they were confusing it. This person absolutely wanted to be welcoming and friendly to Marty, but they were just confused because a lot of people that we go to Sunday school with, particularly, are elderly in our church, and this all a kind of a new concept for them, and it's been quite the adventure in explaining all this. I feel like I'm a school teacher, for LGBTQ plus. But and that's okay. I'm going to support Marty, whatever they decide to do with their life. That's what parents are supposed to do. And if I have to explain things all day long, I guess I have to explain things all day long, and it's perfectly all right. And I'm using some of this hand lotion. This was sent to me by Stephanie at the Groves Bargain Emporium as a gift. And she's been really nice to me for my bereavement since Good Friday. And you don't find people like that every day that'll just help you out. But smells so good. I'm hoping Victoria will be back on. Johnny has a Monday through Friday, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 show, Table Talk with Mark from Two Old Guys Vintage and Resale. And at 8 o'clock, Victoria has a show, talk show about reselling too, and the auctions. And she starts at 8 o'clock. But what happened was Victoria ordered 2 pallets of stuff from Amazon, just like Ella does. Ella. And at the time that they were delivered, we were having record heats here in Florida. She lives one county over from me. And pretty much if her county is under hurricane watch, we're under hurricane watch. And if we're having high temperatures, she's having high temperatures. And so we were having high temperatures last week, and she ordered these pallets, and then their air conditioning went out. And I'll tell you, last August, our air conditioner went out. It is horrible. I sent Marty to stay with a relative because it's just not really survivable. I stayed here during that heat, and there was one day that I showered like 6 times. It got up to 90 something degrees in here. And while I was taking a shower with cold water, I'd be breathing in that air from that cold water. And it was hard for me to get cold water. And your hot water heaters are not made to make cold water. So if you're having record heats, sometimes the water, when it's going through the pipes outside, will be above what it normally is. So the cold water wasn't all that cold. It was just cold compared to the temperature. So I never did measure the temperature of the water. It was just colder than the air, much colder than the air. So that was had my own little personal sauna in here for 3 or 4 days. It was not fun, but it was an experience. I'll say that for sure. And I wondered how people got by with not having air conditioning in Florida. Before the 19th century, they didn't. Of course, the temperatures have changed and all of that, but you wonder about people in Arizona. I have a cousin that lives near Phoenix, and him and his family, there's 2 weeks out of the year that they go and they are not, they just leave. They go somewhere else. They take a vacation or they travel and stay with family those 2 weeks out of the year because it's just too hot. The heat indexes were like 105 and 110 a couple years ago, and we had a parakeet die because of the heat. And it was just like, oh my gosh. And we couldn't bring the parakeets in. Mom was here, and, all 3 of us had health conditions. And, I could bring a bird cage inside. There wasn't room. It's a small house. And so a neighbor took the birds and kept them, and she still has them. But, we just couldn't keep them on the porch anymore. We love those little parakeets, but they're gone now. So I don't think anybody's going to talk to me today. Interesting. So I had some people in here yesterday that were asking intriguing questions. And I think because of the type of questions they were and that I fielded the questions, people are not wanting to come back today, and that's perfectly fine. It's my channel is well, no, let me just say this. I am a whole person, and I am a political being. I'm a spiritual being. I live in this world. I have life experiences. And if someone comes in, I'm not going to be unwelcoming to them unless they are, uh, flirty, or if they are saying something vulgar, or if they're picking on someone else. But if somebody wants to come in and talk about anything that's going on in the world, as long as they're respectful, I don't have no problem talking to them. So, what else was I going to do? I did the unboxing of the coffee. Let me put that back in the box. And that's going to go in the kitchen. I'm going to go ahead and put in two things of trail mix. Where's my bit of honey? I had 2 bags. I see 1 bag. I don't know where it happened to the other bag. So that can go on top of the refrigerator. Where's my other bit of honey bag? I don't know. Did we eat all of it? Is the next question. Let me see. How much candy is in one of these? It might just have the ounces and not the number of pieces. Real honey roasted almond bits. 26 calories, 3 grams of sugar, which is not bad. Not bad at all. No artificial colors, and it's gluten-free. So, I think, see, I had about 10 of these. So Marty probably had the rest. Yeah, I would say we ate the other bag. I just didn't get the last pieces and didn't realize we ate the other bag. So I'll save that for the weekend. So today, I have not got any auctions. We've got some medical appointments, and I got to wrap things up for the week. You ever start on Monday and you've got a list of phone calls and you got a list of things that you need to do, and then somebody's supposed to call you back, or this is supposed to happen, or you're supposed to file this paperwork and all this and that. So Friday is kind of the wrap-up day. I was really busy yesterday, and this weekend I'm going to go ahead and start deciding what I'm going to sell on the 2nd. And I might bring some of the stuff that I already brought when I was at East Coast Reseller Membership Auction, and I might completely do something completely different. I've got some ideas, and I'll do what I do, So you all go over to see Victoria if she's on. She's Adventures with Victoria, and at 8:30, New England Cajun Reseller and Johnny and Mark from Two Old Guys Vintage and Resell will be on. And you all have a wonderful and blessed day. Okay. Nobody.